hear that? Birds, woodpeckers. Very peaceful out here, guys. Just gonna cut to the chase. Right behind me is my newest listing in the Greyhawk Trails community in Signal Mountain. I am so honored to list this home because this place really emulates what it's really like to live in Chattanooga. It emulates what Chattanooga is all about. You're immersed in nature, yet still maintain a tight-knit community feel, and you're still within 20 minutes of modern conveniences and amenities. Now, before we get to the actual video tour, I want to just list a few features of this home and this community that you're not going to want to miss. Number one, this home sits on a 1.5 acre lot that backs up to woods, offering plenty of privacy in your backyard. Not only does it back up to woods, but even beyond your property line is actually the community trail loop. There are hiking trails that loop around this community, which is really great. Over to my right, there is a portion of the community maintained pond that actually sits on the property, really just adding to that nature feel. You also have resort style amenities within this Greyhawk Trails community. You have an awesome pool and entertaining space. There's a ton of green space with a soccer field and a kickball or baseball field. There's also a community stocked pond, so you can go fishing, and there's actually a walking loop around that as well. So your access to nature within the community itself, aside from just being on Signal Mountain, is super accessible. And of course, this home is zoned for the award-winning Signal Mountain School District, making it a very attractive place for families. In this video, I'm going to give you a tour of this home. I'll show you the community. I'm going to give you a real-world perspective on what it's really like to live on top of Signal Mountain. And if you stick around to the end of this video, you'll have a good idea on whether or not this home and this community is right for you. Let's get into it. Welcome to 7231 Grayhawk Trail in Signal Mountain, Tennessee. Right outside, what you'll find is a massive front yard. The home itself actually sits back from the road quite a bit, offering that additional privacy. The exterior of this home is wrapped with hardy board siding. If you look at the front porch, it's held up by those massive, beautiful wood beams. I really like the front porch of this home because not only does it sit back from the road and you get a great view of the front yard space, but over to the right, you also have that pond right there. So you can be sitting in your chair and not only do you see your front yard, but you can also look to the right and see the pond feature, which really just adds to the nature feel. And then we have the 2-car garage with the extra carriage garage as well. Just super nice if you want a space to work on your vehicles, a workshop space, what have you. It's just a super nice feature to have. Now, this family did spend a lot of money, time, and energy on the landscaping and landscape lighting of this home. So when you see in the evenings, the home is absolutely lit up and it looks absolutely beautiful. But what you'll also notice to the left of the staircase as you go up to the front porch, you have butterfly flowers. So in the mornings or evenings when the sun is out, you'll see tons of butterflies and bees and different bugs going in and out and just hovering around the butterfly flowers, and it's just really beautiful. Now, inside the home, you'll find 2,916 beautifully maintained square feet with 3 beds and 2.5 bathrooms. The primary bedroom is on the main level as well, and not having that I know is a deal breaker for a lot of you. There's also a wonderful kitchen with an oversized island, a gas fireplace, and gas cooktop. And in the back, you'll find a screened-in porch backing up to your large private backyard and views of the forest behind you. They also put in a fenced-in portion for your pups. Most of this yard space and lot is very usable. There is a gentle slope kind of to the side, but if you know anything about Chattanooga, you know that if you're looking for a home, a lot of them are on a slope, and sometimes you can't even get a usable backyard. So the fact that this is on 1.5 acres of a usable backyard space is honestly pretty rare. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the tour. So why Signal Mountain? What makes this place such an appealing place to live? Well, one of the biggest reasons people move to Signal Mountain is the lifestyle. The higher elevation means cooler summers and winters compared to the valley, which can make a huge difference during those hot, humid summer months, but also can make a difference during those cooler winter months. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. The families here love the top-rated Signal Mountain schools, and the outdoor enthusiast loves the top-rated outdoor recreation and all that's available on top of the mountain. Here on Signal, you'll find some of the best outdoor recreation, hiking, and views in the entire Southeast. Some of my favorites include Signal Point, Edwards Point, Rainbow Lake, and Falling Waterfalls. There's honestly just so much to choose from, and it's so easily accessible when you're living on top of the mountain. And beyond that, you're not too far from larger natural areas like Prentice Cooper State Forest and Chickamauga Creek Gorge State Park, which is in Soddy Daisy. That's a great spot for hiking along the creek, finding blue holes to jump in during those hot, humid summer months so you can cool off. And then Prentice Cooper State Forest for some awesome off-roading, mountain biking, hiking, and beautiful views. Now, this community is a master plan community mainly built by Pratt Homes. There's probably about 5 homes in this neighborhood that's not built by Pratt, but it's right on top of the mountain, right up Roberts Mill Road. Now, unlike a lot of neighborhoods in the valley, this actually surprises a lot of people who come here and visit, but a lot of the neighborhoods in the valley are very hilly, right? And so a lot of times you'll find a home on a slope where you don't have any usable backyard, things of that nature. Now, here in Signal Mountain, we are on top of a plateau, and in this community specifically, it's very flat. So many homes in this community do have big usable backyards, which is very nice, especially if you have kids. And by the way, this community is absolutely filled with kids. One of the reasons is because of those Signal Mountain schools. But it is very nice to know that the homes in this community specifically have very large lots, and a lot of times, most of the lot is usable. And that is also great for family life. During the evenings when the kids get out of school, the streets are flooded with kids walking, biking, riding on their scooters. And then, to the right of me right now, I'm looking at a kickball field, which is really cool. The flat terrain allows for amenities like a kickball field or a soccer field or that pond over to my left. The streets in this community are very flat. There's not a ton of undulation, so going for a nice little walk is not too difficult. If I compare this to some of the neighborhoods in Ottawa, for example, you'll see a ton of undulation and hills in the neighborhood itself, and it makes for beautiful views on those higher elevation spots. But going on a little walk can sometimes turn into a very intense workout. This community is relatively flat, and so there's more opportunity for biking, scootering, walking, running, whatever you'd like to do. This neighborhood also has a very strong sense of community thanks to its very active homeowners association, where they organize different events and get-togethers. On top of the mountain outside of the community itself, you have different farmers markets. And when we get away from the main part of Signal Mountain that's closer to downtown, the southern region, it starts to get a little bit more rural. We are in the more rural part of Signal Mountain, and we start to find homes that sit on a lot of property or farms. And so up in the northern part of Signal, we'll see farmers markets and hay rides or corn mazes and things like that. It's very seasonal, but there's a ton of opportunity, a ton of events happening like that here on top of the mountain. Greyhawk Trails is one of the most amenity-rich communities on Signal Mountain. So to my left, there is a community pond that is stocked, so you can go fishing. There's also a kayak and canoe or paddleboard launch, whatever you like doing. And there's also a trail that circles the pond. And so it helps create a little bit more diversity, I guess, when you are going on your hiking or biking around the neighborhood or on the trails. It's a great feature in this community. We also have, let's talk about this first. We've got a wood-burning fireplace, and we also have this giant cabana where you can host events, host birthday parties. There's a tons of seating and benches to host a lot of people. And this place also, if you come here on any given evening during the summer, like every family, all the kids come out here and hang out by the pool. It's really cool. Right behind me, we have the pool. I love the setup. It's actually a very pretty and luxurious looking pool. It's not just a rectangle. The shape of it and color is actually very nice. You also have a jumping rock and a slide and a little fountain as well. Believe it or not, they also created a community campsite. So if you want to be a little bit more immersed in nature and you want to get away from the AC for one night, you can set up a tent and camp at the campsite. Along with that, there are 2.5 miles of hiking trails throughout the community. A lot of the homes actually back up to that hiking trail. So right now I do have a listing here. It's 7231 Greyhawk Trail, and it's on 1.5 acres. A lot of the homes here sit on larger plots of land, larger lots, which is great for your privacy. But not only that, a lot of them do back up to that community hiking trail. So there's no building behind you. There's nothing going on behind you except for nature trails. Access to nature here is what it's all about. It's so accessible and it's so nice. Now to my right, there's also a ton of green space where you have a baseball or kickball field with bases and a mound, and there's also a soccer field as well. There's a ton of green space, but there's also a ton of mature trees and landscaping all around here, which really adds to the nature feel. This isn't one of those cookie cutter new construction communities. You do feel like you are on top of the mountain, and it does feel a little bit more rural. Now, when it comes to Signal Mountain amenities, it has a little bit of everything, but on a very small scale. Keep in mind that this is a mountaintop community and it's not very large, and so the amenities are kind of going to reflect that. Signal Mountain's main grocery store is Pruitt's Market. Think Whole Foods, but locally grown. It's actually very nice, and the pizza there is amazing. So if you ever come and visit Signal Mountain, go to Pruitt's and get some of the pizza that they make there. It's really, really good. And in that same strip mall, you also have a yoga studio, different restaurants, doctor's offices, a bank. The town hall complex is a big community hub that houses a pool. You have 10 pickleball and tennis courts. You have a ball field, and it's a great spot where the community gets together, and it is open to the public. You also have Paul Mathis Community Center, which has a gym and all sorts of activities for the community. Everything from youth leagues to pickleball and basketball. Families especially love the myriad of different options you have for your parks and playgrounds for the kids, the Pumpkin Patch Playground being one of the more popular ones. For arts and culture and activities for the wife, you have the Mountain Arts Community Center as well. That offers classes in art, dance, and music. McCoy Farm and Gardens hosts weekly farmers markets, community events, and has scenic trails open every single day. And if you need those bigger box stores like your Walmart, Target, Publix, or a hospital, your Chick-fil-A, things like that, you're just a 15 to 20 minute drive down Roberts Mill Road, down to Hickson, where you have the Northgate Mall and all the amenities that surround the mall area. All right, I had to find a shaded area so my head doesn't get completely burnt. But who is the Greyhawk Trails community for? The pros are pretty easy to see. You have top-rated Signal Mountain schools, you have a strong sense of community, you have resort-style amenities with a pool, a lot of green space, a stocked pond, trails throughout the entire community, recreational centers. You have cooler weather for those hot, humid summer months, and you have some of the best outdoor access that you'll find in all of Tennessee, with hiking, biking, waterfalls, you name it, right here in your backyard. And you all know, at the end of the day, you're not just buying another home. You're buying the lifestyle, the community, and the environment around you. So guys, if you are ready to make the move to Tennessee, feel free to contact me in any of the ways down below. I am a licensed realtor here in Tennessee and in Georgia, and I'd love to make that move happen for you. I'd honestly love to just hop on a 30-minute Zoom call and kind of just go over what community or neighborhood or area might be a good fit for you based on your lifestyle goals, your budget, and things of that nature. If you like this video, hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.